Yo, Shabbat Shalom. You know what I'm saying? This is Isupk Baltimore. You know what I'm saying? This is the scripture breakdown class. That means we the Isupk. Clap it up. Israelite School, University of Practical Knowledge, straight out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under command of Jimmy Honor. If it's not under command of Jimmy Honor, we stress that it is not the truth. You feel me?
Right.
We've been bringing this truth out since 1969. The blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans are the true biblical Jews of the Bible. And our oppressor, the so-called white man, the colonizer, the pilgrim, is the devil that the Bible speaks of, man. You know what I'm saying? We have to understand that because here it is, like we know he's the devil. And devil just means deceiver. Like the entire earth knew that the so-called white man is the biggest deceiver on the earth, you feel me? But for some reason, because of Christianity, we always give him a pass, you know what I'm saying? Like we always forgive him and forget his crimes against us and our people, man. You understand? But we have to understand that the Lord does not forget it. You know what I'm saying? Like the Lord is going to take vengeance, you know, on our enemies. You understand? Not just because they're not Israel. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people like to say, y'all the black KKK, you feel? It's not true. Like we don't commit no crimes against no one.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? But you have those who commit crimes against us just because of who we are, you feel? Like right now, we still have children being, you know, children on the border right now, being sold into sex slavery, being snatched out of the arms of their parents. You see what I'm saying? They still drinking water out of dirty toilets. They sleeping in dug cages. You see what I'm saying? Like, this is what our oppressor is doing to our people, you feel me? But yet he wants to forgive and forget everything, you see what I'm saying? But when your brother in your hood, you understand, does something that you don't like, now we got a lot of shooting and killings.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like, your brother, like our brother will do something against us, and we ready to go to war. But our oppressor can do anything he wants to us, and the first thing we want to do is forgive him, man. You know, the Lord does not forget what happened to his people, man. And this is what we got to understand. Like, let me get Deuteronomy 28:1.
Come. This is Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently.
It said it shall come to pass, meaning like this thing is going to happen if we listen. Like if we listen closely to what the Lord is saying to us, like what the Lord is about to say to us, it will happen. It's going to come to pass. Go ahead.
Unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments.
To observe and to do all his commandments, like this is so important because in order for the Lord to take vengeance on our behalf, man, we at least got to be on the side of the Most High, you feel me?
Right.
Like when we do not keep these laws, statutes, and commandments, we don't realize that we become an enemy ourselves to the Most High. And next thing you know, all of the things that come down, you know, the police brutality, you understand, the crime that we experience, you understand, like this is because we're now enemies to the Most High, man. The Lord is telling us, I'm going to bless you if you listen to me and you keep these laws, statutes, and commandments. You understand? Go ahead.
It's like all his commandments which I command to you this day.
He said keep all his commandments, man. Like he didn't say keep the ones that make you feel good. He didn't say, everybody, like I always say, everybody knows it's wrong innately to just go out and murder someone.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? But what about the crab, that pork, that shrimp, and that lobster? You feel me? Like you got churches right now. This weekend they'll be having a crab feast. You feel me? A shrimp boil. You see what I'm saying? Like they gonna have that pig with the stick between them. You feel me? Roasting open over top of open fire.
Come.
You know what I'm saying? And they're gonna think that they're righteous. And because of that act alone, our people die, man. And this is what we're not realizing. Like the Lord said, we got to keep and do all his commandments. Keep going.
Come. That the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations.
He said, the Lord thy God is going to set thee on high above all nations, man. Like that's the thing we got to realize. God is not into, the Most High is not into equality. You know what I'm saying? He's not into us being equal to our oppressor or equal to these other nations out here. The Most High actually looks at us and says, you know what, I'm going to set these people above every other nation on the face of the earth.
Right.
You You know what I'm saying? When they follow my law, statutes, and commandments. Like, that's what the Most High is telling us. If we can do that, the Lord will set us on high, man. Like, we ain't got to worry about calling in to get a day off. You feel me? We ain't got to worry about, man, can I go to camp today, you know, because of slavery? We don't have to think like that. Like, we've never thought as free men. You see what I'm saying? Like, our oppressor, he gets paid while he's on his yacht exploring the world. You feel me? Like, we've never had this opportunity to be free men running this entire earth. You feel me? This is what the Lord is trying to give us, man.
Right.
But we got to do what He said. We can't do what we want to do, and like, God can't fit into our box. You understand? Like, whatever idea we have of the Most High, He can't fit into that idea for us. That's what the Christian church do. Like, we have to fit into His vision. You see what I'm saying? And the way we do that is by keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments. You got something else?
No, it's so heavy that, you know what I mean, like how the Most High said, keep all His commandments.
Right.
But the thing is, like, the Christian church is so evil because, like, the Christian church will teach you that the laws are done away with. And the scriptures tell you that anybody that break these least laws, these small laws, you know what I mean, they not gonna make it into the kingdom.
We said they gonna be the least in the kingdom.
They gonna be the least in the kingdom. Like, these Christian churches make us a second-class citizen.
Right.
We gonna be a second class in the kingdom.
Second-class citizen, like we beneath the second
right,
class.
Okay, you're right.
Like, Ukraine just came over here and got $13 billion.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
When
was the last time they allotted $13 billion for the inner cities for black people? You feel me? They use little code words like urban. Urban don't mean black. Urban means the Asian that's in our community. It means the East Indians. It means the Africans. You feel me? You understand? But when they made a bill for the Asians, they specified it and say this is an Asian hate bill.
Right. You
understand? They specified the nation that this was for. But when it comes to blacks, like, we classify as urban, so we don't get none of the benefits.
It's like, even like minority,
right?
It's not, that ain't for us. We think that's specifically for us.
Minority, urban.
Right.
That's why we say he's the devil. You feel me? It's wordplay. You know? Because then we can do Deuteronomy 7 and 6.
7 and 6?
Come. Anybody got any questions? As you going along, if you have any questions, raise your hand. We'll get them answered.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 6. For thou art a holy people unto the Lord thy God.
It says, for thou art a holy people, man. This is what we got to realize. Holy means what? What does holy mean? People in your mind. Separate. Say it again. Separate. Holy means we are separate, man. We are set apart from these other nations, man. Like, we are not like nobody else.
Right.
Like, if you're from Baltimore, like, you know that the Park Heights area, they got what they call Jewtown. That's where the so-called Jewish man, that's where they reside at. You feel me? And like the scriptures say, like, ye are the salt of the earth. You feel me? I don't know if y'all ever been up there. You feel me? When you see them, I don't want to be like them. You see what I'm saying? Like, I don't see no sister striving to be like a Jewish woman. You feel me? Like, I just don't see it. You see what I'm saying? Like, if that was the salt of the earth, you feel me? God damn. You see what I'm saying? Like, they stale as ever, man. Like, it ain't nothing glorious to them. Like, the Lord said, for we are a holy people, man. We are a separate people, man. Go ahead.
For thou art a holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself.
They say the Lord thy God has chosen me to be a special people unto himself. Like, this is possessive, man. Like, and people don't get this concept that the Lord has a special people. Like, people don't think that the Lord has favoritism.
Right.
The Lord actually prefers blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, man. Above all other nations on the face of the earth, above any other nationality or race of people on the face of this earth, the Lord prefers us, man. So if the Lord prefers us, man, it's like we want to be great, and that's why we go into all these different cultures. You feel me? You see a brother, you feel me? Like back in the '70s, that's when all the kung fu flicks came up. You feel me? walking down the street with netted shirts on. You see what I'm saying? Trying to be Bruce Lee. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's not our culture, but we want to be a part of something that's greater than what we think we are. Like we are the favorite race of people on this earth, man, to the Most High Himself. All we gotta do is put our culture on, man. All we gotta do is come back and keep these laws, statutes, and commandments, and that gives us a flavor on our own, you know? Like, we don't eat just anything. We go to, like, them heathen nations, they will eat anything you put in front of them, including each other. You know what I'm saying? We pick and choose, like, no, man, I don't eat that. No, we don't do that, man. We keep laws. Like, that's a righteous people. You see what I'm saying? People with a little bit of moral. You see what I'm saying? We're not supposed to be like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, the Lord told us, man, we so special, He's going to tell us who we can and can't sleep with.
Right.
Like, we don't realize that. Like, as a black, Hispanic, and Native American, we just can't sleep with anybody we want to, man. You understand? Like, these heathen nations, they go and they have orgies, and they have all types of illicit sex. You see what I'm saying? As a black man, no, go get you a black woman. Like, you got 12 tribes to choose from.
Right.
Whatever flavor you want. You see what I'm saying? The Lord say, man, we are special people, and we got to put that spirit on, man. We got to stop looking at everybody else like they special. Wakanda come out, and then everybody want to start wearing cheekies. You see what I'm saying? Everybody, you know, but ain't nobody putting that plate in their lip. Like, ain't no black man putting no plate in his lip or his ear. You feel me? Because he know better. You see what I'm saying? But they'd say, oh, them Israelites, man, they on the corner looking like Power Rangers. But then they put a whole dress and dashiki on, trying to be African. You feel me? This is why the Lord said, man, you the special people. You understand? The Lord has chosen us to be His special people.
Above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
I mean, here it is, He's saying it again, man. But He's putting us above all people on the face of the earth, man, because we are His chosen seed. We're His chosen people, man. And this is what we got to realize. This is so important because now that we know that we're the Lord's people, man, you have to understand that when somebody does something to us, they doing it to the Lord, man. Like when someone puts their hands on Israel, on the black, Latino, Native American, they disrespecting the Lord.
Okay.
Like say you have a child, you understand? Somebody put their hands on your child, they disrespected you.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? Like you got politicians, their children break all types of laws, but they don't get touched. Why? They don't get touched because of who their father is. You know what I'm saying? He may have a high ranking position in government or something like that, you see what I'm saying? So he can speed and drunk drive and all that nonsense, you feel me? He don't never get pulled over. He'll never get arrested because of who his father is. But yet and still, the Most High is our Father. And you have people out here who feel like they can still touch us, man. You got people out here who feel like they can do whatever they want under the sun to us, you understand? And this is what we gotta remember this, man, because the Lord does not take that. He don't take a back seat to that.
Right.
You understand? Even though we forget, the Most High does not forget the atrocities that's occurred to our people, man. And He will avenge Israel, man. Like He will.
I see the brother downstairs. I thought that was one somebody living. He all the way downstairs. I mean, I go to the door and y'all.
The door should be open again, all right?
Come on.
Tell him pull the door over, see if it's locked.
Nah, it's open. He in. He just downstairs.
All right, well, tell him to come upstairs to the second level. Yeah, we come to the second level.
Okay.
Yeah, like the Lord is saying, like, man, you my special people, you feel me? Like, somebody put their hands on us, they gonna have to pay, man.
Okay.
Good.
If I could, so like that's heavy because like you know what I mean, the Most High is our power.
Right.
So you know what I mean, like I was dealing with a chick that was working for the city, and she told me how other city workers got pulled over for DUI.
Right.
They let the people know, let the boys know that, you know what I mean, this is who they working with. They working with the city.
Right.
And they got off.
Right.
That power over top, you know what I mean? Like, even our oppressor has that power if you under him. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah.
I see him right here.
See, and the thing is, these people get off for breaking law. You feel me? our Father is so righteous that He don't allow us to get off of breaking His law. You see what I'm saying? Like, we break the law, we got to suffer the punishment. But the Lord has said, man, come back to being who you're supposed to be. You understand? And anybody touch you, I will avenge you. You feel me? We're going to get that in scriptures too, you feel me? If I could, one of you brothers, let me get Exodus 23 and 22. First one, get they can read.
Exodus 23, chapter 23, verse 22. But if thou shalt indeed obey his voice.
Here it is again, like the Most High is requiring that we obey His voice. You understand? Like He said it again, like if you obey my voice, you feel me? Like the Most High wants us to be obedient to His word. You feel me? Go ahead.
And do all that I speak, then I will be an enemy unto thine enemies.
Most High is saying it again, man. When we keep these laws, statutes, and commandments, man, and we start doing what we're supposed to do according to the Lord, you feel me? The Lord said, your enemies shall now be my enemies, man. That means these other nations out here that's putting their hands on us, like right now they doing what they want to do, and because we being raised and we being bred that we ain't got to keep no law. Like the Christian church teaches that we ain't got to keep no laws, man.
Right.
That's like a death penalty offense to a black man. You know what I'm saying? Like for a black man not to have some kind of moral compass or not to have no laws that we got to live by, that's a death penalty offense because we're surely going to die, man. You understand? The Lord is saying, listen, if you do what I tell you to do, you keep these laws, statutes, and commandments, man, your enemies are going to now be my enemies. You feel me? That means that them over at the border, though our children are being killed and murdered and raped and sold into sex slavery, the people that's doing it, when we keep in God's law, man, they become enemies to the Lord, man. You understand? That means that our oppressor, because of our 400 plus years of slavery, he's now an enemy to the Lord, man. That means the African, the Asian, the East Indian that comes into our community, they destroy our community, you feel me? You know, beat our women, you understand? Hit our children. They become enemies to the Lord, man. This is what the Lord is saying. We gotta follow His law. Like we gotta get it out of our mind that we can do whatever we want to do. Like that's the spirit of Christianity. The spirit of Christianity, like how many brothers ever dealt with a woman? Like, how many brothers ever dealt with a woman? She don't do nothing that you say, but she wants you to be so loyal to her.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like you tell a sister, hey listen, I don't want you to do this, you feel me? Well, I'm gonna do what I want to do, I'm grown. You see what I'm saying? But then as soon as you go and get you another woman, now she mad at you. Like you ain't see this coming? You don't do nothing I tell you to do, you feel me?
Yeah.
The Lord is saying, listen, how can your enemy become my enemy if you ain't doing nothing I'm telling you to do, man? The Lord said, listen, however, if you do keep my law, statutes, and commandments and do what I tell you to do, your enemies are going to be my enemies. Keep going.
And an adversary unto thine adversaries.
And he's going to be an adversary to our adversaries. You understand? We have a whole lot of them. Like the Lord calls these other nations. Like if you in any hood across America, it's not just Baltimore. You understand? It's not just Philly or DC. You understand? Or the barrios where the Hispanics is at, or the reservations where the natives at. Like no matter where we're at, we have every other nation of people in our communities, man, and they making money off of us. And guess what? They don't put no money back into it. You see what I'm saying? Like how many hoods got nothing but liquor stores and Chinese joints all through the hood, you feel me? You call yourself trying to go out the hood a little bit, you got Dunkin' Donuts, that's the East Indians, they running that. You go to the gas station, you see the herb. You see what I'm saying? Like you see everybody face behind that counter except your own. You see what I'm saying? Like they are feeding off of our people. And guess what? They are robbing our people. And they don't put nothing back. Like before integration, before we were integrated, we were segregated. You feel me? Like black people actually had a sense of morale, a sense of love for each other at one point in time. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Like it was black owned businesses at one point in time. Like here in Baltimore City, Lexington Market, you feel me, had black vendors. You know, Old Town Mall had black vendors.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like Pennsylvania Avenue, all black. You understand? It's prices up.
That's what's up.
You know what I mean? Like right now, we don't own nothing in our own communities, man. And not only that, these people are murdering us by the millions. You understand? Like we got dietary laws that we gotta keep. You understand? How many times you done ate a pit bull out that Chinese store, man? How many kittens have you eaten? You understand? Like that's real talk. You feel me? It ain't like it's a lot. You see what I'm saying? We eating all manner of unclean meats in these filthy establishments, man. You understand? But they respect their own. They respect their own, man. That goes for the Jewish man, it goes for all of them. We the only people that can't love each other, man. We the only people that can't build and become one with each other. Every other nation of people can be one with each other, man. And the entire earth is cool with it. But as soon as brothers come together, that's when it's a problem, you understand? We gotta come back to keeping Islam. We gotta come back to keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments, man. You understand? We're gonna try that. Let me get Obadiah 1 and 8.
Go.
Sure.
This is Obadiah chapter 1, verse 8. Shall I not in that day, saith the Lord, even destroy the wise men out of Edom, and understanding out of the mount of Esau?
Listen, the Lord is saying in that day, man, you know, Edom or Esau being the forefather or the progenitor of the so-called white race. You understand? The Lord is saying, you know, even destroy the wise men out of Edom and understanding out of the mount of Esau. Like the Lord is going to come back and punish them, man. You understand? Like, is he punishing them just because they're not Israel? Like, is the Lord going to punish Esau or Edom? You understand? Is he going to punish them just because they're white? Because a lot of people say, like, you know, y'all don't like white people, you feel me? You understand? What's y'all problem with white people? You feel me? We hear that a lot. You see what I'm saying? What does the Lord say? Like, why do the Lord have to take vengeance on them? You feel me? Let's get into the Lord.
Okay. Verse 9. And thy mighty men, O Teman, shall be dismayed to the end that every one of the mount of Esau may be cut off by the slaughter.
Listen, they going to be dismayed, man. Their jaws are going to be on the ground, you feel me? When they start perishing, you understand? By the sword of the Lord, man. Like, it's not our place to go out here and hurt nobody, you feel me?
Right.
Like, it's not our place to lift a finger to our oppressor or to any of these other heathen nations, man. We will defend ourselves. We're not the Christian church. You understand? You come out with it, we will defend ourselves.
All right.
But we're not going to actively pursue and try to do harm to nobody, man. The Lord is, you feel me? And why is the Lord going to do that? Keep going.
Verse 10. For thy violence.
For their what?
For thy violence.
For their violence, man. Go ahead.
Against thy brother Jacob.
Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, man. Because of his violence towards our people, man, the Lord is going to annihilate them, you feel me? And a lot of people say, well, how can you destroy an entire race of people? You see what I'm saying? Everybody didn't do it. But guess what? When we went into that transatlantic slave trade, all of us was not sinners.
All right, sir.
You see what I'm saying? So the Lord can take his chosen people and put all of us through slavery, you feel me? And he could take his chosen people, man, and put us in the conditions we've been in. What do you think that he's going to do to a people that's now his enemy, huh? You understand? Think about that. If you take your preferred child, you understand? If you take this preferred people, man, and you put them through absolute hell because of our rebellion. You see what I'm saying? What do you think that he's going to do to a people that he hates already? I mean, the Lord said he hates Esau. That's biblical, you feel me? What do you think is going to happen to him, man? The Lord is going to annihilate and cut him off forever, man. Like he may see a picture of him in a museum one day, you feel me? And you show him to your kid, like, man, he used to run the earth.
Right.
You understand? Like, in our kingdom, like, we won't know the spirit of the so-called white man, you feel me? Like, we don't understand how much oppression that we're under because we've got so used to it over the years, you feel me? Like, we used to being oppressed. We used to being slaves, man. And we don't even know it. We think we're free. We think we're free, but like you got brothers who have good paying jobs, man. They make a lot of money. You see what I'm saying? They may not be struggling like the next brother, you feel me? But miss a week's check, you feel me? Do something stupid on their job, man. You see what I'm saying? And get fired. Don't clock in, don't clock out. You know what I mean? Eat lunch at the wrong half hour of the day. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, that's how you know we're slaves. You actually got a lunch break, a set time for lunch break, you feel me? And we don't think like that, you feel me? Like, you supposed to eat when you get hungry. Eat whenever the hell you want to, you feel me? They say, nah, you can only eat from 12 to 12:30, you feel me? You better clock in and clock out, you feel me? I don't care how much money you're making, you feel me? We're not free men here in this country, man. In this earth. But guess this, here's the thing. When we come back to keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments, man, that's when we become free, man. When we serve the Most High God, you understand? Like, it's a different freedom in that, man. Trust me when I tell you, a lot of people think that we just talking about it, you know? But it's a freedom in serving the Lord, knowing that the Lord has your back. I mean, because if the Lord is for you, who can be against you? That's biblical too, you feel me? Like, that's black talk anyway. You see what I'm saying? That's how you know the Bible is a black book. Like, the Lord is saying, man, listen, who want problems with me, you feel me? Don't nobody want no issues with me, you feel me?
Right.
But let them touch you and see what I do to them. You know, it's countless stories like, what just happened down in Kentucky? I think it was like earlier this year or last year, late last year. It was like a hurricane and just like wiped through Kentucky. You see what I'm saying? Like, it tore down plants and all that kind of stuff, you feel me? Like factories and all that, you feel me? You think it's a coincidence that happened down there? That ain't no coincidence. They came up against our camp, man. That's where the whole Kentucky Gate came from. You come up against the Lord's priests and prophets if you want to, you feel me? The Lord is going to take vengeance. We ain't got to put the hand to nothing, man. People think it's a game, you feel me? Like, these other nations think it's a game playing with the Lord's chosen people, man. It's not. People use their life for speaking out against the Lord's priests and prophets, man. You understand? The Lord, listen, you do not get away with it. Go over, Chuck.
Further to that point, that was the worst flood in Kentucky history.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it was off the charts.
Here after that picture,
Right.
the worst flood in
Listen, off the charts.
So many people, and the governor was like, ain't no tell how many people want to die.
Yeah.
It couldn't kind of.
Listen, it's not no coincidence. You see what I'm saying? You touch the Lord's people, like, what they doing, and we got to keep bringing this up because you don't hear it on the news no more.
Right.
You don't hear about what's going on with the border no more. But trust me, it's still happening, man. Like, they got out people on the border, locked up in cages after they stole their land. You see what I'm saying? Like, how do you have a child drinking out of a pissy toilet, man? You literally snatching children out of the arms of their parents, man, and selling them to these heathens, and they going up halfway across the earth, being raped and molested and doped up and sold into slavery, you feel me? And passed around like they nothing. This is the Lord's children that we're dealing with here, you feel me? So listen, when Ukraine get bombed, am I supposed to feel sorry? Like, should we feel sorry when Ukraine get bombed? Where was Ukraine when our children were on the border, man? You understand? They came through the border and got $13 billion. They walked past our children and their suffering and got $13 billion, man. But we supposed to still feel sorry for them? I think not, man. That's their business. That's white on white crime. Ain't that what they say? You understand? That's an oppressor on an oppressor crime right there, you feel me? Let them have it out, you know? Drop it. Let me get Isaiah 14:1.
Come.
And that's what you always hear, like the young oppressors. They don't consider themselves oppressors, man. They always say, well, I haven't done anything. How many times have you ever heard that? I didn't own slaves. You know, I've marched. You know, I've done this, you know. I feel you guys' pain, you know. Let's see what the Lord has to say to this, man. Go ahead,
This is Isaiah chapter 4, verse 1.
14.
Salaki. This is Isaiah chapter 4. Salaki. chapter 4, so like
14.
chapter
14
14.
to 1. Like, and this is the Lord speaking. Like, that's the crazy part. You feel me? Like, you know how like when you read something out the Bible and somebody not used to hearing it, then they start looking. What translation is this? You feel me? Like that's what it comes to. You feel me? Like these are the words of the Lord. These ain't the words of these ain't our words, man. And this is what people gotta understand. Like, this has always been on. Like the Most High has always been on the verge of slaughtering our oppressor, man. He's just waiting on us to get our act together, man. That's why we here teaching our people. Like, listen, the Christian church did their job, man.
Right.
Like the black Christian church has been as wicked as all be, you feel me? And like they've done their job by deceiving our people, man. They listened to their father, the so-called white man, you understand, the devil of the earth. And they've done their job by deceiving us, and we think that we don't know justice, man. We think justice is something unrighteous because of the Christian church. But when 9/11 happened, and them so-called same so-called white Christians, they say, listen, we gotta go to war. They touched American soil, right? We gotta go and bomb Afghanistan. We gotta go get Osama bin Laden. And everybody in the earth understood it, right? But when it comes to blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, we say we just want justice. You've got to forgive. Did you forgive Osama bin Laden? You understand? You didn't forgive him. But we gotta forgive you, right? Let's see what the Lord has to say. Go ahead.
This is Isaiah chapter 14, verse 1. For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob.
The Lord is going to have mercy on blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. Understand? Like, though we have our afflictions, and though we have things that we're not doing right, you understand? The Lord is going to show mercy to us, man. Like, coming to class, man, and having a chance to understand that we're supposed to be keeping law, statutes, and commandments is the Lord showing mercy on his people, man. Like, the fact that the Isupk has been set up under Commander Johnny Hanna, man, and we out here in these streets and we in these classes teaching, that's the Most High showing his people mercy, man. Go ahead.
And will yet choose Israel.
He's going to choose us, man. And he's going to choose Israel again. Go ahead.
And set them in their own land.
He's going to set us in our own land. Right now, we're not in our own land, man. You understand? We have imposters in our land right now. The Lord is going to set us back in our own land one day. Go ahead.
And the strangers shall be joined with them.
They say the strangers shall be joined with them. Like, who's them strangers? Who we talking about right now? Anybody want to take a stab at it? Go ahead, what's that? Say it again? Yeah, they eat. Now oppressive, man. They gonna see all this. They gonna see World War III going on. You feel me? They gonna try to cleave into us when the Lord is calling us out of this hell. You feel me? You understand? So they gonna make the kingdom, and everything gonna be good at that point. They gonna cleave to us. They gonna we want into our own land, and they coming with us, right? You know, we're gonna sing Kumbaya over open fire now, right? Go ahead. Let's see what the Lord has to say.
And they shall cleave to the house of Jacob.
They're gonna cleave into the house of Jacob. You understand? Go ahead.
Verse 2. And the people shall take them.
What people shall take them? Who's the people that's gonna take them? You wanna take a chance in money? Israel? Yeah, Israel. Israel is the people. Israel is going to take them. He's going to take them strangers that's cleaving into us, right? Go ahead.
And bring them to their place.
We're gonna bring them to our place, man. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take them and bring them to our place. Go ahead.
And the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord of servants, in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids.
It say in the land, it say in the house of Israel shall possess them. What does possess mean? Like when you possess something, what do that mean? You own it. You see what I'm saying? Like you own it. You got a pair of tennis that you possess right now, a favorite pair of jeans or something that you have right now. That's you possess that, right? Can them tenants tell you that they don't want to be worn today? You understand? Like, can them jeans say, listen, man, it's raining outside. I ain't trying to get wet. You feel me? Don't wear it. You feel me? Hell no. You own it. You tell it what to do. You wear it when you want to wear it, right? It said we're going to possess them, man. It said in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids. Go ahead.
And they shall take them captives.
And it said, and they shall take them captives. Israel shall take them captives. Go ahead.
Whose captives they were.
It said whose captives they were. You understand? The so-called white man and these other nations, they are going into slavery, man. You understand? They are going to be. They going to be like it's going to be a day. Like I know we can't fathom it, right? But it's going to be a day that you wake up and they ain't got to go to your, they ain't got to go to slavery. It's going to be a day, Lord willing, you feel me, that the Lord gives it to us individually, you feel me? But it's going to be a day that you can wake up and you have slaves on your plantation. You see what I'm saying? That your kids can run free without the fear of being hurt, without the fear of being abused and murdered and raped. You understand?
Right.
And you're going to have people that's working for you to build your kingdom. Build the Lord's kingdom, you feel me? That's what these strangers are going to be, man. And I mean, we're going to take them captives. Who captives we were? Go ahead.
And they shall rule over their oppressors.
They say they shall rule over their oppressors, man. Like, we're going to absolutely rule over our oppressors. Like, this is the power that the Lord is trying to give us, man. The Lord is not interested in being equal. This society, like, they beguile us and they deceive us by saying, equality, equality, equality. There is no equality in the earth. There's never been equality in the earth.
Right.
You understand? That's why it's always been wars. There's never been peace in the earth. You understand? Outside of, Solomon's reign. Outside of that, there's never been peace in this earth, man. There's always been some nation, jockeying for some kind of power. You understand? And listen, we gotta go to war with each other. You see what I'm saying? Like, we're going to rule over our oppressors, man. And the Lord wants to give us this kind of power in the earth. But we have to do something to receive it. We actually have to keep these laws, statutes, commandments, man. Like, as a black man, we have a duty to serve the Lord, man. Like, as a black man, Hispanic or Native American, like, throughout all your endeavors you can ever encounter in your life, you feel me? It is an absolute duty to serve the Lord, man.
Right.
You understand? We should all be priests in here. Priests and prophets to the Lord, man. Putting our spirit back on and waking our nation up, you feel me? Being soldiers for our nation, you understand? You know how the scriptures say, they say the lion will dwell with the lamb, you feel me? A lot of people think animals. They think, the lion and the lamb gonna dwell together, the lion ain't gonna have teeth. I've heard this in the Christian church.
Right.
The lion ain't gonna have teeth to eat the lamb and all this, and they gonna get along. No, that's not what that means.
Right.
That means that the strong of our nation
Right.
will protect the weak of our nation, you feel me? Right now, the strong of our nation feed off the weak of our nation, man. You got lions in every hood. We all know it. You got your Debos in every hood, you feel me?
Right.
And then you got our weak brothers in every hood, you feel me? What happens is, the lions of the other nation, they come into our hoods and they destroy our weak and strong, you feel me? It's going to come a day, man, where our strong is going to protect the weak, you feel me? It's going to protect the women, the children, you see what I'm saying? You ain't going to be able to come in our neighborhoods and do whatever the hell you want to do, you see what I'm saying? Like, this is the Lord is trying to get us, man. But we got to do something about it. We actually got to come back and serve him, man.
Right.
You understand? Drop down to verse 21, brother, Michelle.
Come on. Go ahead.
Go
I mean, you want 21. I mean, I definitely get it. I just wanted to hit 3 because it's like one of my favorite scriptures. If I could. The sir. Verse 3. And it shall come to pass in the day that the Lord shall give thee rest from thy sorrow, and from thy fear, and from the hard bondage, wherein thou wast made to serve.
It's going to come to pass in that day, man. The Lord's going to give us rest from our sorrow. Like, it's a hard life, man. Like,
Good.
you got brothers out here working 60 to 80 hours a week.
Right.
Just to stay afloat, you know? That's hard bondage, man. That's hard labor, man. Sometimes they don't bring you your money on time. As soon as you get your money, you feel me? You think you done came up, because you worked 40 hours overtime.
Right.
They done put you in another tax bracket, and they took down 60% of your money by the time you got it. You feel
Right.
me? You think that you try and come up, next thing you know, you got insurance lapse or something. You feel me? Something stupid. They done went up on your rent. Your baby mother tripping and put you on child support. You feel me? You done work 80 80 hours and got a $200 check. You feel me?
Right.
Like, it happens. You see what I'm saying? Like, this is a hard bondage, man, that we've been made to serve. Go ahead.
Come on, come. That was it for that verse.
Read
Right?
verse 4.
Come on, come. Verse 4, that thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon, and say, how hath the oppressor ceased? The golden city ceased.
Yeah, we're gonna take up that proverb, man. See how America. You hear Babylon, think America. You feel me?
Right.
Think of how America, our oppressor, has ceased, man. You understand? They don't have that power and control that they once had. You understand? There's gonna be a day, man, that you wake up and you're gonna give orders to your oppressor.
Right, son.
You feel me? You're gonna tell him when he can eat, when he can sleep, and he better work and he better make his quota. You feel me? Or else.
Come on, come.
You see what I'm saying? That day is coming, man. I mean, but if you want that kind of power, like the Lord has to know that you are responsible with that power. You feel me? And this right now is the battleground for us. As a black man, this is your battleground, man.
Come on, come.
Whatever your affliction is, you feel me? You gotta learn how to fight in here, man. The UPK is where you need to be at, man. And for sisters too, like this is where you learn how to fight. Don't never think that you're not gonna fight. You see what I'm saying? You learn how to fight and be a soldier, and you learn how to be a brother. You feel me? Because sometimes you be in battles that you don't know how the hell you want to fight. You feel me? But then you talk to your brother. You see what I'm saying? You call the captain up and say, "It's like, sir, I'm dealing with this issue, man." And the captain get right on it.
Right.
Captain say, like, "This is what you going to do." He lay out a plan for you. Get used to following orders, man. Follow that plan to a T. Don't let Satan come in your mind and say, "Listen, man, don't follow that. That shit don't make that don't make sense." You know what I'm saying? But Satan coming. You feel me? Satan is coming, and he's gonna tell you, man, that don't make sense.
Damn right.
Go
Yeah.
your way. You feel me? Fight that thought in your head, and listen to your captain. Listen to your captain leader's voice. You feel me? And this is how we begin and learn how to fight. You feel me?
Come on,
Drop
come.
down to verse 21, brother.
Come on, come. It's Isaiah chapter 14, verse 21. Prepare slaughter for his children.
Listen, the Lord say prepare slaughter for the children. What is slaughter, man? What is slaughter? Like, say it. Like, you gotta say it. You feel me?
Right, right.
What does slaughter mean? You feel me? Yeah, it means death. You feel me?
That's right.
The Lord said prepare it for him. You feel me? Prepare it for who?
For his children.
He said prepare slaughter for his children, man. Go ahead.
For the iniquity of their fathers.
Well, I've never had slaves. I've never owned slaves. Hasn't that been good to you? Didn't I give you that vacation when you came and asked for it? Didn't I give you a day off when someone died in your family? Didn't I do that for you? You understand? The Lord said, man, prepare slaughter for him, for his children, man. Because of the iniquity of his father, man. That means the sins of his father is going to fall on him.
Right.
You understand? And like that's what they not banking on. They think the Lord will give them a pass because they didn't physically have us in slavery, you feel me? But they benefited from all of the slavery that their forefathers have done, man. They are what they call a what to crime? An accessory. Most black men, you know, we know that. You feel me?
Right, right.
You in the car and somebody commits a crime, you get the same charge. You feel me? You understand? Like they understand it when it comes to punishing us. But when it comes to them getting their punishment, you feel me? Nah, it don't apply now. It applies. They are an accessory to a crime, you feel me? And they gotta pay. Go ahead.
Come on, come. That they do not rise, nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities.
They say that they do not rise, nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities, man. And this is so heavy because they so good at being who they are, man, that the Lord has to put them to death. Outside of that, they'll rise again, man.
Right.
The Lord knows it. He said, listen, if I don't put them to death, they're going to try to rise to this earth again, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how good of a devil they are. That's how good of a deceiver they are, you feel me? But trust me when I tell you, even though we want to forgive and forget and we want to sing kumbaya and be all one with our oppressor, man, the Lord has not forgotten, man. We got to come back to serving the Lord by keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments. And as we do that, the Lord will the Lord will return to us and be on the outside, man. You understand? And when the Lord is on the outside, The Lord is now an enemy to our enemies. He's now an enemy to our oppressors. He's an enemy to the people who hurt and abuse us and misuse us, you feel me, and take advantage of us, you feel me? And when you have the Lord as an enemy, as black people, we know how many murders every year in Baltimore City? 350, 400?
Oh my God, right.
You see what I'm saying? And we think, like, we get 300 murders in Baltimore City, we think we had a good year. You see what I'm saying? That's horrible, man, that 300 brothers and sisters gotta die every year. You understand? In one city. You understand? Like, we gotta come back to serving the Most High, man. We gotta realize that our oppressor is not our friend. He's not our he's not our friend. He's not no one we should be bonding with and creating and building relationships with. You see what I'm saying? We are serving him and making his empire great. You know? We got to build relationships and with each other, man. And the only way we're going to do that is coming into this UPK, man, becoming a brother to another brother, sisters becoming a sister to another sister, you feel me?
Damn
and
right.
putting our spirit back on this earth, you understand?
Okay.
With that, Shalom, we're the Israelite School, University of Practice and Knowledge, coming straight out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General Yohana. You understand? We've been bringing this truth out since 1969. You know, that blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans are the true biblical Jews of the Bible, man, and our oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of. You understand? So with that, we're gonna call upon Abazar for reading of our security announcements.
The security announcement for the Isupk out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, for the Commander General Yohana. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes to the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to share themselves with the world. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a person, to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithe, which is a commandment. You can find it in Numbers chapter 18, verse 21, and Malachi chapter 8, verse 10. Means 10th in the Hebrew is pronounced ma'ashera. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the treasury department or the teacher. Priest funds, free-will offerings for priests, not mandatory, whatever sort of amount you would like to give. Upcoming home convocations. We got September.
Yeah, we got the memorial blowing the trumpets.
Memorial blowing the trumpet. That's Monday the 6th, September 6th. Remind Akim and Awakim to check on social media such as isupk.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so forth for ISUPK events and materials. We got the Harlem barbecue going on this weekend, the annual barbecue. That's like Friday, Saturday, or Sunday.
No, that's Sunday. We over camp.
Right.
Times Square Saturday.
Saturday. The barbecue starts Sunday at 12 to 8. If any brother wants to be a trooper in the school, they need to start wearing all black, which includes black boots, shirts, pants, headband, or scarf. And with that, we're going to give one courtesy to the teacher, Minna Israel, Maya, this thing stands. We're going to give one courtesy to the teacher, Minna Israel, Maya, Maya Shabbat, Amaya, Barak, Yahweh Shem Yahshua Rakatah,
Yahweh Shem Yahshua Rakatah.
Yahweh Saw, being turned for a favorite sister. We're going to get one courtesy to the sister, Minna Israel, Amaya Shabbat, Amaya, Barak, Yahweh Shem Yahshua Rakatah. Yahweh